Alright, everyone. I'm back. Alright, so should we talk to Glanton immediately or deal with. Oh, okay. Alright.
What is it?
Let's see.
What is it?
I'm still determined to take you in.
What I'm doing here is bigger than you or me, or any damn bounty, a piece of paper printed by some fat cat in shady sands. You've walked a lot of the same roads as me, seen this world firsthand. The rule of law is made with the gun, the blade, not on paper. Those sandwolves won't stop if I leave. They're out in the hills, waiting, watching for weakness. They don't question themselves, do they? That's the paradox of civilization. We make laws, enforce the peace, bring development, but we harbor doubt, regret, guilt. The savage is spared from these complications. We have to shed them in order to win, to survive. I can do that. That's why I'm here. If you want the bounty, you'll have to kill me.
Care to step outside? Well,
Tell yourself that if you like. Believe that words and chicanery can stop what's coming. You're going to have to choose between justice and anarchy. There is no middle ground here. While you mull over your peaceful intentions, you might speak to the sheriff. I understand he's recruiting volunteers for a scouting mission.
okay. Listen here, bitch. Something about stomping your eyelids and mailing them off to Shady Sands. Yeah.
Yes?
Scouting mission?
Yeah, it's a quick scouting mission to the other side of the canyon. Lopez family settled there a few weeks back. We haven't heard from them. Normally, they swing by town every Sunday for supplies, but we haven't seen them in weeks. I suspect the worst, but I want to be sure. All I would need you to do is verify their status. There's 3 adults and 2 children, one of them an infant. The pay is 100 caps. If it is the Sandwolves, that'll show that they're back in the area. The main group always sends out raiding parties in their vicinity. So, are you up for the job?
Sure.
Good. Here's the spot on your map. Keep your eyes open for Sandwolves while you're out there.
Okay. So I don't know if we're trying to, like, befriend Glanton or something. Yeah, do a little bit of exploring here. Basically, we just need to get him outside of the town, and we can shoot him in the back of the head. Okay, that's a dead end. Oh yeah, it's like Angel Park. You gotta look at the local map. Oh. What the? Lopez family shack.
Jesus, they killed most of them. Took the kids? Wait. No. Oh, I'm gonna be fucking sick.
What is the baby in a... Alright, Grandma Lopez. Papa Lopez. Mama Lopez. Was the baby dead around here or something? Some mod author ought to make a good 3D model for a dead baby. Could put it right there, really spice up the mod. It's kind of weird to have propaganda posters in your own home, but okay. Is there like a note here? I guess they wouldn't leave notes for this kind of thing. That's it. The deluge of blood begins.
Everybody okay?
I just realized this is gonna be like the what you call it? The cannibal perk. Ugh. Might have to get rid of field medic. Man. See, they should make it like if you're aimed in and you hit E, that activates the check body condition or whatever. But I doubt that'll ever happen. Alright, let's do a little bit of exploring. I want to see what else there's. Oh yeah, we were supposed to go check out the mine too. Okay. Sounds like someone's moving furniture above me. Bedlamite's Refuge. There's some weird shit in here. Cool. Yeah, let's just defibrillate this hand. Is there grenades hanging here? I don't see any grenades. Man, y'all really got fucked up. Damn it, Russell. Mad Prospector's Shack.
It's on.
Oh, he seems mad.
That's it. Time for head and weapons count.
Hope that wasn't like a quest we just messed up.
I don't understand the fuss over Sunset Sarsaparilla. Tastes like rancid fruit.
The hell are you doing out there, Russell? Is this the Sandwolves camp? Oh. Cave of the Warrior. Warriors! Oh, these are journals. Let's read. Oh, apparently we also had Maria Lopez's diary. Day 1, we're here. It's amazing to finally have a place of our own, without some landlord lording over us. There is room to move, air to breathe, and a chance to make our living. Folks at Silverwood warn us about the tribals, but they can't be worse than the 80s. We all know how to handle a rifle, and we have a good view of the canyon. Tomorrow we're going to build fences. Ground 2, or Day 2. Ground is tough here, and the digging was exhausting, but we've got it done. I never want to touch a post hole digger again. Grandma looked after Juanito while we were outside. He makes her so happy. It's such a delight to see her eyes light up when she's holding him. Frank started to make a move on me tonight, but we're both too tired. Besides, one baby is enough for now. We have to buy livestock tomorrow. Day 3, we went to meet the herder outside Silverwood, and he sold us 5 head of Brahmin. I also made sure to buy some seed from that general store. That man Dobbs seems like a nice fellow. Some drunk named Charlie almost vomited on my dress. I wish they'd run off that sort of riffraff. I'm so glad we aren't crammed in that cesspool. Day 4. This morning was frightening. We heard a sound at dawn, and Frank went for his rifle. I grabbed a baby. All he found was a single tomahawk that had been lodged into the door. It was so primitive, yet deadly. I imagine these tribals are angry about our presence. Can't they understand we just want to live in peace? Well, go live in peace elsewhere. Frank went to talk with the sheriff while I planted some crops. Sheriff told him that there aren't enough militia to spare, and that we'll just have to remain vigilant. What a pendeo. Well, I mean, you decided to move out there. It's kind of your fault. The Brahmin are all dead. They killed them in the night with nary a noise. Just cut their throats, even the calves. The land office told us this was safe, a way to avoid crime and cost of the city. If I'd have known what kind of people these tribals were, I don't know if I'd have made the same decision. Frank and I are armed at all times. I'm scared. Frank killed one of them last night. He couldn't sleep, so he just sat in a chair watching the door, clutching his rifle. I drifted off around midnight, but the gunfire woke me up a few hours later. It was a young man, a boy really, armed with a club and some spears. Frank said he wasn't alone, that they tried to enter through the front door. Thank God Frank was waiting for them. We're going to leave this place once Frank gets a job in town, probably at the mine. While Frank was at town, I saw the tribals kill a hunter from town. I was tending to the garden when I heard the gunfire and screams down the valley. 3 tribals had been waiting on the hunter. He caught a spear in his leg and went down. He managed to fell one of the savages, but the other 2 were on him in an instant. They did things to him, things I can't describe. I keep remembering it, hearing the hunter's awful, ungodly screams like an animal being butchered. The tribals laughed. Day 8. Frank said the mine won't hire him. We'll have to stay here or move into town and live in the streets. We're going to pray tonight, ask God to watch over us, and then make a decision. I've lived on the streets before, and I'd almost rather die than experience it again. This farm is our future, and we have to be strong, if only for Juanito's sake. We will stay here, we will hope, we will pray. And now you're all dead. April 5th, 2270. I can barely sleep tonight, so I just started writing. I've begun a new chapter in my life. I have an urge to document my upcoming adventure. It's a great honor to be given the assignment of seeking out an uncontacted tribe and recording its language and culture. After living in the classroom for so long, digesting and regurgitating information, I'm excited at the prospect of finally putting it to use. These anthropological surveys are competitive posts within the followers. I just hope I don't disappoint Dr. Graham. He's been such a fine mentor to me. Little is known about the people I'm seeking other than occasional sightings and hearsay from prospectors. Based on cursory descriptions, they seem to be nomadic hunter-gatherers who follow bighorners. Most of the old maps point to a mountain range called the New York Mountains. Who was York, I wonder? I've double-checked my pack, and all the rations are in place. Dr. Graham insisted I carry a rifle, even though I hate the idea of using it. Last thing I want to do is hurt something. This world has more than enough wounds. That's what Dad could never understand. He thought joining the followers was foolish, calling it a waste of time. He can keep the ranch. God knows he has enough bastards who can inherit his fortune. I never liked Brahmin anyway. I wonder what he would say if he could see me, a bona fide vegetarian pacifist, follower of the apocalypse. It would probably do him in. At least Mom would be proud. Sun will be up soon. I need to at least try to rest before I head off. April 9th. Wait, we jumped from 2270 to... You didn't write in your journal for 5 years? Thus, my expedition has been relatively uneventful, save a close call with some geckos near Nipton. After seeing that cesspit, I'm all the more eager to escape from civilization. I'm staying the night in Searchlight, which is quaint but hospitable. The weather has already begun turning much warmer in the past few days. I couldn't imagine making this trip in the summer. I was sore after the first few days of walking, but I believe my limbs are growing accustomed to the demands of this lengthy peregrination. Now I almost look forward to my daily exertion, though I wish the pack was lighter. It's quite a change from the Mormon fort. It's interesting when I tell locals what I'm doing. Their reactions are risible, to say the least. Most of them gasp in disbelief, then scoff at my mission as folly. Many tell me that I'll be scalped or otherwise brutalized by savages. I try to downplay it, but I know it's a risk. These people could be more bellicose than expected. However, if they've been truly isolated since the war, I can't imagine them being too hostile. I'll have to be very careful and learn and respect their cultural norms. Can't wait to meet them. 2275. After almost a week, I've finally reached the canyon. It's simply pristine, arid and pure, almost as I imagined it would be. It's smaller than I thought it would be, but that's to be expected. Anytime I hear the word canyon, I imagine gaping chasms that span for miles. This isn't a pit, though. It's a preserve. Aside from the derelict train station and rails, there is no indication of development. No signs of the locals yet, but I'm going to set up an observation post on the western rim. I noticed some rad scorpions on the southern hills, so I'll keep my distance. It gets surprisingly chilly at night, so I'll finally get to use those blankets I packed. The local flora seems vibrant, and I've managed to collect a few yucca bits to supplement my rations. They are delicious. I'm laying on my stomach now, writing as I peer across the expanse, hoping to see a human figure. I'm hoping to document their patterns and behavior before establishing contact. Nothing but geckos right now, but I'll wait. April 17th. I was on the verge of abandoning this spot when I finally saw one of them. It was a young man, probably a scout of some sort. He was a physical specimen, lean as a snake, and he moved with such ease and grace. Like a dancer, he was adorned with an amalgam of hides, rags, and various objects. He had a number of tattoos or body paintings, though it was difficult to distinguish through the binoculars. He was tracking geckos and managed to remain unseen by his quarry until his spear skewered one of the creatures. It was a magnificent scene, so much that I almost forgot my aversion to bloodshed. However, I found myself getting queasy when he field dressed the poor beast. Soon thereafter, he swiftly collected the hide and meat, then departed across the ridge with the same celerity and stealth with which he entered. What a remarkable day. April 18th, 2275. After agonizing on whether or not to follow the young scout's trail, I was stunned this morning when a group of 50 tribals manifested in the canyon below. They are almost certainly nomads, and as they are constantly monitoring the nearby bighorn herd. For far from simple savages, these people exhibit profound empathy and mutual support. I noticed several elderly among their number, all of whom were supported by fellow tribesmen. When I noticed their encampment at dawn, they had already set out on their daily tasks, with many of the women and children gathering, while the adult men hunted in groups. There is no bickering or infighting that I can see. That is already a welcome change from the Mojave. Though I've only observed them for one day, I suspect they practice polygamy. I am hoping to gain a better understanding of their society once I make contact tomorrow. April 19th. This was a day of many firsts. I'm still shaking from excitement. This is a long fucking journal. I approached the camp this morning, moving in steady, deliberate fashion as coached by Dr. Graham. As would be fitting, it was a group of children who first spotted me. Far from fearing me, I was an object of immediate fascination, given my dress and manner. Within a few minutes, I found myself surrounded by the bulk of the tribe, men and women alike, all gawking and gingerly touching my coat. They kept calling me Extranjero. Extranero? Extranero? I'm going to call it Extranero. Though it's too early to be certain, I believe they speak a Pidgin form of English with many Spanish loanwords. I could make out a few cognate phrases: who, where, matre, patre, madre, patre, but little else. I tried muttering slowly and despacio to no avail. Soon I was taken to meet a group of old men, likely some type of senior council. Though communication was limited, I managed to convey that my intentions were peaceful and that I was living on a rock above their camp. They seemed wary of my improvised sign language, but eagerly drew pictograms on the dirt. I reciprocated by showing them that I came from north of the canyon, from a great city filled with many lights. They were impressed. These people are the most hospitable hosts I've ever met. Immediately after my meeting with the elders, I was ushered to a large tent and offered all manner of food, most of it meat. I willed myself to smile as I choked down roasted bighorner. The initial impressions are crucial, so my dietary preferences may have to suffer for a time. I can infer that it would be offensive if I refused any food outright. It was also I was also offered clothes and presumably a place to stay. During the entirety of my education, I never anticipated meeting such a civil, amicable body of human beings. They are the best of our species. April 20th. Awkwardly adored in hides, I am beginning to mimic the habits and manners of the tribespeople here. I have not yet ascertained their collective name, though I suspect it is connected to some canid deity. I am taking copious notes on their language, and I hope to produce a primitive dictionary before I conclude my study. I can say one thing with certainty: this is a polygamous society. It seems each man takes multiple wives, and the number of wives is only visible social distinction in this otherwise egalitarian culture. Tomorrow will be eventful. I suspect it seems some of the men want to take me hunting. Jesus Christ. That was a long fucking journal, and there's 2 fucking more. Alright, well, we're gonna cut here. Get ready for reading next episode. Fuck.